Yo, what is going on, guys? Jaeky here. This is going to be how to play Duelist on attack. This is going to be the follow-up video for my how to play Duelist on defense. If you haven't seen that, I will leave a link to it in the description. But I think most people have a grasp on how to play Duelist on attack. Your main job is basically just to go in first and make space for your team. So obviously, if you're not a very good aimer, this probably isn't the role for you because you will be the one to initiate most duels and you will be the one that's going to be clearing most of the site for your team. So when I say make space, what does that mean, right? A lot of people don't understand the concept of making space. So as a duelist, your job is literally just to be first in line when you execute into a site. So what that means is if we were executing B on bind here, I would be going in first with the either drone or Roomba, however we want to clear hookah. Usually it's probably going to be a Roomba on this map. We're going to Roomba into hookah, and I'm going to be the one following the Roomba in. Roomba will clear left side for me, and I'm going to be taking these duels for my team, dueling back site, and then once the smokes come in, we're going to be smoking CT, elbow. I want to be the one that's going to go in and create space for my team. So what does creating space necessarily mean? It means I am creating a path for my team to follow me into the site safely. So how I would do that as a Jet, and I think how most players do it as Jet on this map, is they will smoke top site, they'll jump, and they'll dash out onto top site, and then they'll burst out of their smoke. And when they burst out of their smoke, they'll be clearing multiple angles. They'll be clearing cubby, back sight, maybe this box, or maybe we'll have a raise nade for back sight, so I won't have to look back sight first. I will just look at cubby and then onto my left as well. And then my team will follow me in. So ideally, as a duelist, you want to get a kill as you're coming into the site to make space, but that's not completely necessary. As long as you are there to make space for your team to trade you out and get that site easier, you're doing your job as a duelist. So a lot of people, when they play duelist, they are so fixated on getting a kill going into the site. Obviously, that's ideal. Like, you obviously want to go for a kill as you make space for your team onto the site. But most of the time, even if you're not getting a kill, me dashing onto top site here creates so much pressure for this cubby guy or anyone on site, and they will just be staring at me. So even if I'm not able to get that kill onto the cubby guy, I get the information that he's there for my team to trade him out. So even if that's the case, you trade 1-for-1. As long as you're making space for your team to get onto the site and get that trade, you're doing your job as a duelist. Okay, different scenario here. What if I was playing Reyna instead of Jet? So if I was going into hookah, same thing. I would be following my Roomba in, maybe chucking a flash right here to help me clear it out easier. You know, Roomba would be clearing left side, so I would just have to focus on the right here. And I clear everything behind the box and everything. We smoke, and then I'm flashing out. And again, I'm still first one out to make contact here. So I jump out, clear under hookah real quick, and then I'm flooding onto the site for my team to follow me in safely. And my job is basically to clear back site as I walk past, and then I either, when my team has the site, I either play with them, we play for post plant, and we hold the site, or I go for an aggro pick CT, get a kill, and then from there we're up man advantage. So that's basically kind of the job as a duelist. So let's talk about some different scenarios and exceptions. So what if I was opping as a Jet on attack? What would my job be if I was opping, right? So usually if you have an op, you're not really full out executing onto a site. If we were full out executing onto a site with an op, I would not be the first one in as a Jet. If I was going B, let's say, I would let maybe one of my other duelists go in first, and I would be maybe second or third in line if we were full on executing, and I'd be going in second and holding some of these angles. But ideally, if I have an op, I will tell my team to do a default and not execute a site. Like not 5-man a site right off the start. We would do a default where you use the op to get a pick. So if you are opping on attacking, how I would do it is I would take my op and I would go op one of the extremities. So either shower, short, or long. I don't really like opping hookah too much. One of those three. So maybe I'll go for a shower peek right off the bat. Beginning of the round, I'll post up right here and wait for someone to peek. And if you get this kill, you are in a 5v4, and then you can do whatever after that point. Just execute a site, 5v4, man advantage. Should be a pretty easy round. You know, if I have an op and we're doing default, I can also go for a picket long, where I sort of peek like this, and I go for a picket long, and then again, if I get a kill here, it's 5v4, and we go from there. So what if we are playing defaults with, and I have a rifle? So Same thing as an op, honestly. If you have a rifle and you're playing default, you want to go for a early pick to put yourself in a 5v4. But basically your whole team is going for these picks, so it's not your role specifically as a duelist. If you're playing defaults, everyone on your team is basically feeling out the map. So if I was rifling, I would go for this pick, same as an up long, and then your whole team's going for picks around the map, and as soon as you get one, it's 5v4. So that's basically how defaulting works as a duelist as well. So let's say I'm playing Raze, and let's say we're executing B. What I would do is off the bat, you put yourself in the barrier, you do your little Roomba lineup for hookah. And then, again, you're first one in with your Roomba, so you're following your Roomba in. Like that, it clears left side for you, so all you need to really do is clear this, maybe spam the box, and then from here, you can either use your nade to nade cubby if you know that someone plays there a lot of the time, or just the default nade is going to be for back sight. So we're going to chuck the nade back sight, and then we are going to go in with the satchel, clear under hookah, clear cubby, clear everything, and then make space for your team. So it's very similar for every agent. If you have ult on Raze, it's even better. You satchel out of hookah with your ult, and you create even more space, so maybe they fall back into CT, and they're forced to play a retake at that point. So yeah, that's basically your job as a duelist. Super simple. You do have to be very mechanically good at the game, because ideally you want to be killing 1 or 2 people on your way out onto site, making space. But again, if you're not killing anybody and you're just allowing for your team to get those trades off your back, then that's perfectly fine as well. You're also doing your job at that point as a duelist if you're making space for your team, allowing them to trade off you. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you play Duelist on Attack. It's very simple, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope this helps. Peace.